let's go. And let's begin with Lahadodi. Right now, most of you can't invite anyone into your home. But on Shabbat, we can invite the Shabbos bride. And we will welcome her with Lachododi. Let's make this a new and a peaceful Shabbat by turning to page 3 and the Boruchu. Now we read the Hebrew on page 6, reminding us that it was God who made heaven and earth, and it is we who must nurture the gift.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bivaro ma'ariv aravim, bechokma poteach she'arim, uvitbuna mishane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, sader et hakochavim, b'mishmeroteim b'arkira kitzavel. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom umevi layla, umavdil bein yom uvein layla, Adonai tzevaot shemo. El Chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim.
And now we come to the Shema, and you all know it. So let me just make sure you know how to translate it. How many gods are there? For us, because we're Jewish. No, there aren't three, and there certainly aren't four. How many gods are there? You're right. Now let's close our eyes and consider ourselves right in the center of the whole universe. That's where God is too. The Shema. Page 10. You will find Micah on page 11. Hey, can you get up and dance with your sister, your brother, or your parents? That would be a way to do it like we do it at camp. We can celebrate Shabbat, yes, by dancing, but also by being very still and quiet. Let's do that right now as we sing Hashkivenu and hope that when we lie down each night, we have nothing to feel bad about that we did during the day. And we can go to sleep peacefully and wake up to an even better day.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Ushmor tzeitenu, uvoenu, lechaim v'shalom, me'ata ve'ad olam. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Everything Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright when we go to sleep tonight.
Okay, now we're ready for Vishamru. At camp, we'd be on our benches already and making a lot of noise. I don't know about making a lot of noise, but if you can find a chair, a bench, maybe you have a piano and there's a piano bench to jump off, well, if your parents say it's okay and it won't ruin the living room, you can do it. But if you don't have anywhere to jump, just lift up your hands and clap each time we do.
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat, la'asot et haShabbat l'dorotam berit olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat, la'asot et haShabbat l'dorotam berit olam. B'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat, la'asot et haShabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai, et hashamayim v'et haaretz. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat, la'asot et haShabbat l'dorotam berit olam. U'vayom hashvi'i Shabbat v'inafash. vayinafash. Shabbat vayinafash. V'sham shomeru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat. La'asot et ha-Shabbat. L'doroto berito. One more time. V'sham shomeru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat. La'asot et ha-Shabbat. L'doroto berito.
And now we turn to page 17. And this is, as I say so often, the center of our service. Why is it the center? Each of us has other parts we might like better. It's because it is many prayers, all one after the other, and it begins with being grateful for our ancestors, our grandparents, great-grandparents, all the way back to Abraham and Sarah. And then it goes on to thanking God for what we have had and what we do have. And we finish by asking God, please, even on Shabbat, to do us one favor, bring us peace.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'konei HaKol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot, U'mevii Gula Livnei V'neihem, L'ma'am Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei HaKol Atah Rav Le'Hoshia, Mechakel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechayei HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofei Holim, U'Matir Asurim, U'Mekayem Emunato L'Shenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Gegurot, U'Midom Melach, Melech Memit U'Mechayeh, U'Matzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah l'chayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayei hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, U'kadoshim b'chol yom v'halu chasela, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el hakadosh.
You'll find her say on page 21. You know, when we are truly grateful, we feel it with our heart. We say thank you with our words, and we try to give back what we have been given to somebody else.
Say Adonai Eloheinu,
Page 23, Shalom Rav. You know, no matter how much we have, no matter how much we do, we need to pray always, not just with our words, but with our actions, for peace. Peace within ourselves. And then you can make peace at home, in your community, in this country, or in the world.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov b'necha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
If you turn now to page 25, you will find several lovely prayers that you can read to yourself. But this is the time when you can say your own prayers and think your own thoughts for a few moments. And that will be your special prayer for this Shabbat. once upon a time, there was a king with the loveliest daughter. The king's name was Melech, because that means king. And his daughter's name was Shandel. Shandel means beautiful, beautiful one. The king and his daughter were all they had in their family. The queen hadn't been around for many years, and Shandel had no sisters or brothers. But she did have many men who wanted to marry her. And for several years, they would come and ask the king, "Can I have the hand of your daughter in marriage?" And he would always say, "Nah, no." Now, she was ready to get married. And the father stopped saying no all the time. Instead, he was very careful of who he told to come back the next day, and they would talk about it. The king ended up with only 3 men he thought his daughter would be interested in. Their names were Mendel, Moish, and Micah. And those 3 men showed up the next day. And Shandel was talking with them. Truly, she liked all 3. And in those days, the father was supposed to be the one to choose. And so the king said to the 3 of them, "My Shandel is like my right-hand gal. On almost everything I do, she's a part of it because she's so smart. And she's nice to so many people, and she smiles all the time. And her beauty shows even more. And when I get upset, she calms me down. And if she gets angry, I calm her down. And I'm going to lose all of that if one of you marries her. And so I have a test for you. My biggest problem is I get happy too fast and sad too fast. And I'd like you to roam the world, or at least my kingdom, and find something that will make it easier for me to have peace within myself most of the time or all the time." Now, if you understand what I'm talking about, go bring me something that will make me happy when I'm sad and keep me not miserable when I'm happy. Mendel, Moish, and Mafka understood what he was saying. They didn't know what they were going to find, but they all ran off as quickly as they could. They thought if they were the first one back, it would be the best. That isn't always so, and it wasn't this time either. The 3 young men searched and searched, and the first one to come back was Matka. And he had in his hands the most gorgeous crown for the king. The king thought to himself, "I don't need another crown." But he didn't say that because he was very polite and kind. "Tell me why you brought me that," he said. And Matka said, "I had it made for you. It is the most beautiful diamonds you could ever want. And they're all in the crown except for a few." And he holds up his hand and he's holding a gorgeous necklace, a few that I used to make a necklace for Shandel. The king said that was lovely. He even tried it on to make Micah feel good. And then he said, is anybody else back yet? And Mendel came in and he said, I have found, really I had it made, the most exquisite idea for you, because this will help you to never be too sad and never be crazy happy. And he showed him a box. The king couldn't imagine what was in the box. Open it up, said Mendel. And Mendel did. And inside there was place for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different statues. I have teapots here that were made specifically in China. But he had, I'm just showing you because it was the same kind of box with velvet inside. In here, he explained to the king, I have 5 different idols, of 5 different gods. The first one is the God of happiness, so you can always be happy. The second one is the God of sadness, because sometimes when you're sad, this God will make you better. And then there is the third one, is the God of revenge. So that anytime you're so angry that you want to take revenge on somebody, just hold the God, and the God will help you to not do that. The fourth God is the God of joy. So whenever you are very joyous, if you hold that one, you'll calm down a little. And the last one is the God of love. When you miss Shandel or you love somebody, you can take hold of the God of love and it will give you love. The king took the box. He didn't even bother to look inside. And because he was so nice and kind, he said to Mendel, thank you very much. Will you please come see me in 2 days? And Mendel was so sure he was going to be the one. He said, of course I will. I'll be back here for you in 2 days. That isn't why he invited Mendel back. He invited him back so he could sit and teach him about one God. And last but not least, Moish came back. And he was the latest. And he said, oh, Moish, I'm glad you're here, said Melech, the king. And what do you have for me? And Moish said, I don't have the beautiful things that the others have. I have something very little. And I figure when I make enough money, I will buy one for Shandel and one for you, one for me. And what is it? Said the king, getting very curious. And he takes out a ring, just a plain round ring. If it was gold, it was made by somebody who didn't really know how to do it very well. because the ring had bumps in it and a couple of lumps in it where the gold was or the copper, whatever it was. And he hands it very humbly to the king, as if to say, this is what I thought of and this is what I have. It may not be good enough for you after you've seen the diamonds and the other things. And Melech looked at the ring, put it on, and really didn't understand what it was all about. So Moshe explained it. He said, take it off and look inside. It's one of the most important group of words you will ever need for finding peace inside you. And the words were, Gam ze ya'avor, which means, this too shall pass. And he explained to Melech, who was always willing to learn, if you are very happy, that's the time to stop for a minute and remind yourself, I am so happy, this is so wonderful, but this too will pass. So I better enjoy every minute of it and be grateful for it when it's gone. And Mendel, and Melech understood. He understood very well. And then Moshe said to him, but there's more, Melech. If you are very sad and you've lost something, or you're missing something, you feel guilty about something, whatever it may be that makes you sad, touch the ring again, hold it tight, and remember what it says. This too shall pass. Whatever the sadness is, if you remember, it will not be there forever. And you can always find a way to make it better, even while you are so unhappy. Melech couldn't get over how kind and how smart and also how handsome Moshe was. And he knew he would be the right person for his daughter, Shendel. And the two got married, and the king said, you come live in the castle with me if you would like, and you will have more than enough money to go and get 2 more rings, because all 3 of us should remember what you said. Now I must tell you, some of you will know what Gam Zeh Ya'avor means. This too shall pass. Everybody say that. First the Hebrew. Gam Zeh Ya'avor. Now say it all together. Gam Zeh Ya'avor. And in a minute, Daniel and Brodsky are gonna sing you a song. And in English, this too shall pass. You say it. It's so important to remember that. I told this story many years ago, but I'm telling it today for a very special reason. If we were all together right now, I'd be asking you what it was, but I bet most of you have guessed. This COVID-19, this pandemic, a sickness that goes all over the world, if we thought it was going to last forever and we'd stay quarantined and we'd have to walk around with a mask on for the rest of our lives, we'd probably be even sadder than some of you may be. I'm suggesting that you don't be too sad Say to yourself, you say it, Gam ze ya'avor, this too will pass. So if we have to live through it, and thank God we're not sick, let us remember to make the best of that moment. Don't let it eat you up inside. There's no peace when you do that. Knowing even this difficult time in our lives will not be here forever, will help us to be at peace, whether we're very happy or very sad. One more thought, I must say. There are people in our country, and a lot of it has to do with us, that have never been able to say, this too will pass. They couldn't say it about their poverty. They couldn't say it about the drugs and the murders in their neighborhoods. There wasn't much they could say that about. And they couldn't change the color of their skin. And now I pray, and I hope you do too, that people with a different color of their skin will be able to say, all of this misery that my people have lived in for so long, now, Gam ze ya'avor, this too will pass. And I hope we will all help it to pass. Then the whole world, or let's say our whole country, will know the peace that we can feel when we use that phrase, when we're happy or when we're sad. Hope you liked it.
Gam ze ya'avor, this too shall pass. 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 Gam ze ya'avor. What does that mean, Brodsky?
I think it means this too shall pass.
Oh, I wonder if, unfortunately it doesn't work if everyone unmutes, but I hope that you're singing this along with us at home. Gam ze ya'avor, this too shall pass.
Gam ze ya'avor, this too shall pass. Gam ze ya'avor, this too shall pass.
On page 28, you will find the Elenu. I think I've told you before, but I'll tell you again. Do you know why this prayer is in here after we've done so many and thought of so many other things? It's in here because the people in the days of old wanted to linger a little longer at the service, and they didn't want it to end. Now, maybe you can understand that, or maybe you can't, but we find the Elenu on page 28.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'ateit g'dula l'yotzeh breshit, shehu l'oteh shamayim v'yotzeh haaretz, u'moshe min ha'rov ha'shamayim mima'ah, u'shchinatu zo b'gavhen meromim, hu Eloheinu einod, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, Lifnei melech machei hamachim, hakadosh baruch hu. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu, bayom
we end our service remembering all those who are no longer here today. With gratitude for their lives, we rise to thank God and praise God's name.
Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divrach hirutei v'amlich malchutei, B'chayechon uvyomechon u'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'yamru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam v'lomei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtavach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaled v'yitalal Shmei Kedusha B'richu, Le'ela mikol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, ta'amiran v'alma v'yamru Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabbah min Shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yamru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yamru Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Oseh shalom b'mromav, yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom b'mromav, yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom b'mromav, yaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Shabbat is here, Shabbat is here. I'm so glad that Shabbat is here. Oh, candles burning bright on a Friday night. I'm so glad that Shabbat is here. Shabbat shalom, Camp Micah. Shabbat shalom, Camp Micah. Shabbat shalom, Camp Micah.